Welcome back to Golfing the Tri-State. This is Tip of the Week with Tom Nelson at Christmas Lake Golf Course. And he's going to tell us the difference between chipping, pitching, and you say a lot of amateurs make it too hard.
I think definitely they make it a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. The biggest problem I see is this part of the game is not really common sense. They want to relate this part of the game too much to the full swing. I think you need to take a step back and make it easier for yourself. I guess what I really mean is you need to learn the proper setup and the proper technique, and then honestly it's not that difficult a shot.
Neat. Well, what is the proper setup?
Well, I think when you go into a full swing, if you took a line and drew it from toe to toe, that line would be aimed somewhat at your target. Here you really want your line aimed more to the left of the target. Basically, if you took this ball and rolled it underhanded towards the hole, you wouldn't stand like this. This is a touch part of the game of golf, so you want to use that touch. So if I were going to roll this ball up, I would take it and my feet would be somewhat in this position.
Neat.
That's almost the position you want to be in on a good chip shot or a pitch shot. Now, the thing that separates those two is the length of the swing and the distance you stand from the ball. On a true chip shot, your eyes are almost directly over the top of the ball, which gets you really close to it. One mistake most people make is they get way too far away from the ball. If you get your eyes over the top and then you get your feet in the position we talked about, you're very close to being where you need to be. The hardest part from this position is getting your shoulders aligned correctly, which in my opinion is one of the hardest things in the game of golf to do. Your shoulders should always be aligned where you're trying to hit the shot. You never want your shoulders aimed left. And most people want to aim their shoulders left because you are used to facing what you're doing in your life. Golf is one of the few things you will ever do where you're not facing what you're doing. The most critical point in the game of golf, you're dead sideways. It's a screwy game.
Interesting.
Basically on the chip shot, so you get your eyes over the top of the ball. If you want to start with your feet here, that's fine, and turn them into position. But then the critical point, get your shoulders around to where they're supposed to be. Most people struggle with where to put their hands too. If you get your shoulders right, your feet right, and your posture right, all you do is you let your left arm hang loose. Wherever it hangs, you put the club there, and then you put your right hand up to meet where your left hand is hanging. And you're ready to go.
Neat.
That's all you have to do. Most of your body weight here is on your left foot. So if we get in that position, hitting the shot is actually the easiest part. You take the club back a very short distance and you hit down into the back of the ball and let the club do the work for you. And the ball releases and runs on up.
Nice.
Nice
chip.
Well, thank you. The loft of the club is going to determine how low the ball comes out. You know, all of us are different in the way we like to approach things. Right now, I think I've got a 54-degree wedge here. If I had a club that was 48 degrees, it would go lower and hotter. Some people like to switch clubs on different length shots like this.
I've heard that, yeah.
You can, you know, it's up to you if you want to develop the touch. Another thing you can do, the way I just set up to the ball, if I simply move my feet towards the hole, again, do exactly what I just told you and let your left arm hang. Well, now that puts your hands way ahead of the ball and it de-lofts the club. Hit the same shot. Comes out lower.
Should go a little
and hotter
farther. Yeah.
and runs a little farther.
Nice. Look at that.
So, I don't know.
Good shot, Nelson.
I might be able to get it down in 2 from there. I'm not sure.
You just keep doing that, we're going to call him Tommy Nelson. It's like Bobby Jones. That's good.
That's a basic chip shot.
Can I try one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go up there and get the other ball so you can try another one because we have to get you ready for hole number 2.
The pitch shot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I like that. Standing closer. Haven't heard that. I've heard that with putting, but I haven't heard that.
Now, one thing you need to be sure of, when you get closer to it, let your arms drop, and if you have to choke down, that's perfectly fine.
It's okay? All right.
Perfect technique. Next one, just hit it a little harder.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dead on.
De-loft a little bit, maybe. Nice. Fantastic. Tom Nelson, tip of the week. Now we're going to see about the pitch shot, chip shot. He said golfers have a hard time knowing what to do with their hands. I had a hard time on dates with that. I got slapped a lot. Well, you know, I did. Until I met my wife, and she was fine with it, you know? Okay.
It's golfing and dating, I guess,
Golfing,
are very similar.
It is, yes it is.
Now the pitch shot, there's a little more motion involved in the pitch shot. What I would classify as a pitch shot is a shot you're forced to hit it into the air a little bit more, and it might stop a little bit quicker. For instance, if there was a bunker between you and the hole, and you were forced to get it airborne and stop the ball as it hit the ground just over the bunker, and you had to stop it quicker, to me that would be more of a pitch shot. Chip shots are a little easier because you've got a lot of green to work with and you can let the shot run out. Whereas a pitch shot, you have to stop it a little bit quicker. You're kind of forced into that.
Okay.
Biggest differences as far as I'm concerned, the stance is very similar. You're not quite as close to the ball. So in other words, this one, you get the feet open, but if you notice, my eyes aren't quite as much right over the top of the ball. You're going to have a little bit longer swing on this one. The ball is not going to be quite as far back in your stance. And this time, again, if you notice, I'm going to let my left arm hang. I'm going to take it back. It goes in the air a little bit more.
Neat.
Yeah.
Tom Nelson, tip of the week, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be taking a break. We'll come back and talk with Tom a little bit more here at Christmas Lake Golf Course, and we're going to play Joe's scorecard. Stay tuned. Golfing the Tri-State.